Hey there, parents. It's Dave Ramsey, and today we're going to talk about something that is close to my heart, teaching your kids the value of money.
Now, I know it's easy to just let kids grow up without having those tough financial conversations.
After all, it's not exactly the easiest subject to bring up.
Right.
But let me tell you, if there's one thing that will set your kids up for a successful future, it's understanding money. I'm not talking about how to get rich quick or what the latest trends are.
I'm talking about teaching them the timeless principles of how money works, the importance of hard work, saving, and planning ahead. These are lessons that will serve them for a lifetime. Let's be real.
Today, kids have access to all sorts of things that make money seem almost magical. They can swipe a card, tap a phone, and suddenly the world is at their fingertips. But that's not reality. The reality is that money doesn't grow on trees. It comes from hard work, wise decisions, and being intentional with every dollar you earn and spend. And it's never too early to start teaching your kids these lessons. Imagine for a moment, what if your kids grew up knowing exactly how to manage their money? What if they knew how to budget, how to save, and how to make smart decisions with their spending? What if they were equipped with the wisdom to avoid the traps that so many adults fall into, like credit card debt, impulse buys, and living paycheck to paycheck?
Well, guess what?
They can be, but it starts with you. As parents, we have the incredible responsibility of shaping the next generation. Our kids are watching everything we do, not just in how we spend money, but in how we talk about it, how we manage it, and how we make financial decisions every single day. We're setting an example, whether we realize it or not. And the good news is you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be intentional. You don't need to be a financial expert to teach your kids these lessons. You just need to show them the value of hard work, the power of saving, and the wisdom in making smart choices. I know. You might be thinking, Dave, my kids are too young for this kind of talk, or they're already asking for stuff all the time. How do I even begin to teach them about money? I get it. But let me tell you something. Teaching your kids about money doesn't have to be a lecture or a big, overwhelming lesson. It's in the small moments. It's in the everyday opportunities where you can show them what you're doing with your own finances and explain why you're doing it.
It's in the conversations you have when they ask for something at the store or when they receive their first allowance. These moments are gold, and they're your chance to equip your kids with the skills that will serve them for the rest of their lives.
So let's dive into this together. I want to help you give your kids a solid financial foundation, one that will make them confident, independent, and wise with money as they grow older. Because when they understand money, they won't just survive in the world, they'll thrive. And that's what we're all about here, giving our kids the tools they need to succeed. I'm excited for you to succeed. I'm excited for you to take this journey with me because it starts now. It starts with you. And trust me, the impact you'll have on your kids' lives will last far beyond anything you can imagine. Let's get started. Let's start with the basics. Before we can teach our kids how to handle money, we need to make sure they truly understand what money is and where it comes from. Now, I know this may seem like an obvious point, but bear with me for a second. In today's world, it's way too easy for kids to forget that money doesn't just appear out of thin air. It doesn't magically show up on a credit card or in the ATM. Money is earned, it's worked for, and it has value because we put in the time, the effort, and the energy to get it. You know, when my kids were younger, I remember taking them with me to the bank, and I would show them how money is earned by working hard, by being diligent, and by being smart with the opportunities you get. I would explain to them that money is the result of making good decisions, decisions that are thought through, planned, and executed. This is a critical lesson. Money doesn't grow on trees, folks, and it sure doesn't just appear in your pocket because you swiped a card at the checkout counter. It's a product of your labor, your effort, and your commitment to working hard. Think about it. Your kids see you work. They know that you leave the house every morning, get in your car, and go to a job.
But do they really understand why you do that?
Do they know that the reason you work so hard is so you can provide for the family, pay the bills, and maybe even have a little left over for a vacation or a fun outing. We all know that work is what provides the income that supports everything we do. But for a child, that idea can be a little abstract. So we have to break it down in a way they can grasp, in a way that makes sense to them.
Now, don't make the mistake of thinking your kids are too young for this kind of talk.
When my kids were just little, I started showing them the basics of earning money. I would give them small tasks around the house, like taking out the trash, folding the laundry, or helping in the garden.
I'd pay them for these jobs. Not a lot. Just a few bucks here and there, but it was important. Because the key was showing them that money comes from doing something of value. It comes from working.
I didn't give them money just because they existed. I gave them money because they did something to earn it. And believe me, they got it. They understood that money wasn't something that just appeared. It came as a result of their action. And when you start teaching your kids that work is the key to earning money, you're teaching them a value that will carry them through life. You're helping them understand that their efforts, whether in a job or in other parts of life, have value. You're helping them form the mindset that success is not handed to them, it's earned. Every dollar that comes in, every paycheck, every bit of income, whether from work or from a gift, earned through some form of effort. And that effort has to be valued. So let's be clear about this. Your kids need to know the truth about money. They need to understand that it's not some magical thing that just happens. It's the reward for hard work, smart decisions, and yes, sometimes even sacrifice. The sooner they get that lesson, the sooner they can start making wise decisions with their own money when the time comes. And remember, you are the example. You're showing them what it looks like to be responsible with money, to earn it with integrity, and to use it wisely. So start today. Talk to your kids about what money really is, about the hard work behind it and the value it holds. Show them that money doesn't just appear. It's the result of what we do with our time, our energy, and our abilities. This is the foundation of all future financial wisdom. And once your kids understand this, they'll be on the path to making smart, intentional decisions about money for the rest of their lives. Now that we've talked about the importance of understanding what money really is and where it comes from, it's time to move on to the next big step in teaching our kids about money, saving and spending wisely. Look, I'm not here to tell you that saving money is easy. It's not. And I'm not here to tell you that your kids will automatically understand the value of a dollar and resist every impulse to spend it. No, it's a lesson. And like all valuable lessons, it takes time, patience, and consistency. But trust me when I say that teaching your kids how to save and spend wisely is one of the most important things you can do for them.
This is where the rubber meets the road when it comes to financial wisdom. And this is where we start to see the real difference in how your kids will handle money as they grow older.
We live in a world of instant gratification, don't we? With just a few clicks, we can order anything online, have it delivered to our doorsteps the next day. And when kids see that kind of instant access to everything they want, it can be really tough to teach them the value of patience and delayed gratification.
But here's the thing. If we don't teach them this principle when they're young, they're going to grow up thinking they deserve everything right now. And that's a dangerous mindset to have.
It all starts with setting up the idea of saving.
Now I know what you're thinking. Dave, my kids don't have a lot of money. How can they save if they don't even get an allowance? And that's a great question.
But trust me, even small amounts of money can teach big lessons. The key is to start small and make it a habit. Let your kids know that saving is just as important as spending. In fact, it's more important as spending. In fact, it's more important. Why? Because saving is what gives you the power to make wise decisions in the future. Saving teaches kids that they can have what they want, but they might have to wait for it.
They can buy that new video game, that bike, or that toy, but only if they're willing to set aside money for it over time.
When I talk to parents, I often tell them to break money into 3 categories: give, save, and spend. I call it the 3-jar method, and it's a simple but powerful tool for teaching kids how to manage their money. Every time your kids get some money, whether it's from chores, gifts, or even a birthday card with a couple of bucks inside, help them divide it up into those 3 categories. 10% goes to giving, 10% goes to giving, 10% goes to saving, and the rest goes into spending. Yes, they get to spend some money, but they also have to give some away and save some for the future. This system not only helps them learn to manage their money, but it also teaches them the power of generosity and the importance of saving for the things that matter most. It's amazing what happens when you start teaching kids to save and spend wisely. They begin to make different choices. They start to see the bigger picture. Maybe they realize that instead of blowing all their money on candy and toys right now, they can put a little away every week. And in a few months, they'll have enough to buy something really special. That's what delayed gratification looks like in action. That's the muscle we're trying to build. And when they start to see how saving money gives them options and freedom, that's when the light bulb goes off. That's when they realize that money isn't just something you blow through. It's a tool you use to create the life you want.
And here's the other side of it: spending wisely. It's just as important to teach your kids how to spend money as it is to teach them how to save. I'm sure you've seen it before. The kid who gets their hands on a little bit of money and then immediately spends it without thinking twice. That's natural, but it's also a habit that can lead to trouble down the road. We don't want our kids to grow up thinking that money is just for immediate gratification. We want them to understand that money is a resource that should be spent thoughtfully on things that add value to their lives.
This is where it gets real. I want you to help your kids start thinking before they spend. Next time they want to buy something, whether it's at the store or online, ask them, do you really need this right now?
Is this the best use of your money?
I'm not saying you should deny them everything, but I am saying you should make them think about their purchases. If they want something, help them weigh the decision. Ask questions like, is this something that will bring you joy for a long time or just for a few minutes? You see, when kids start thinking about the value of a purchase before they make it, they start to develop the skill of making intentional spending decisions. At the end of the day, saving and spending wisely is about teaching your kids to be in control of their money, not the other way around. And that's the key: control. When they control their money, they control their money, they control their future.
When they make intentional, thoughtful decisions with their money, they're laying the foundation for a future that's full of financial freedom and security.
So get started today. Help your kids divide their money into those 3 jars. Teach them about saving and spending and give them the tools they need to make smart decisions. Remember, this isn't a one-time conversation. It's a lifetime of lessons. And the earlier you start, the better. By teaching your kids these habits now, you're giving them the best shot at building a financially secure and fulfilling life in the future. And that, my friend, is priceless. Now that we've covered the basics of understanding money, saving, and spending wisely, we're moving into one of the most important lessons of all: teaching your kids how to work hard and earn money. This is where the rubber really meets the road. You see, in our world today, too many people, adults and kids alike, are looking for the shortcut. They want the easy way out. They want the latest tech gadget, the flashiest clothes, or the next big thing, all without putting in the time, effort, and work it takes to actually get there. But here's the truth, and it's one that you've got to make sure your kids understand. Nothing in life worth having comes easy. Nothing. Success, whether in finances, career, relationships, or anything else, is the result of hard work, discipline, and a willingness to put in the effort when no one else is watching. And it's up to you to help your kids realize this truth early on, because it's a lesson that will carry them through life. Look, I've been in the financial world for a long time, and I can tell you this without a doubt. People who have learned to work hard and earn money are the ones who succeed. It's as simple as that. And teaching your kids how to earn their own money, how to get their hands dirty, and how to put in the effort is one of the most powerful lessons you can give them. Not only will it teach them the value of money, but it will also give them a sense of pride and accomplishment that nothing else can match. It starts small. Maybe your kids are younger and their first job is doing chores around the house. At first, it's just a simple exchange. They do a task. They earn a small amount of money. But over time, as they get older, you can give them more responsibility. Maybe they take on a paper route, walk the neighbor's dog, or help with odd jobs around the neighborhood. The key is to give them opportunities to earn money on their own. And let me tell you, when kids start to earn their own money, it's a game changer. They don't just get money handed to them. They work for it. They put in the time. They make the effort and they see the reward. And the best part, they start to understand that their efforts directly impact their ability to earn. But here's where it gets even more powerful. When your kids start to work hard and earn their own money, they also learn the value of responsibility. They understand that money doesn't just show up. They have to go out and make it happen. They realize that they can't just rely on you to give them everything they want. They have to earn it. And that is a critical lesson in today's world, where too many people are looking for a handout, waiting for things to fall into their laps. I want my kids to know that if they want something, they have to go out and make it happen themselves. There's no substitute for hard work. And when your kids start earning money, they'll experience this truth firsthand. They'll understand that hard work leads to rewards and that success doesn't come by chance. It comes by choice. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but Dave, what if my kids don't want to work? What if they don't like the idea of doing chores or taking on extra responsibilities? I get it. It can be tough to motivate kids, especially when they're young. But let me tell you something. Work ethic is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And when you start giving your kids small tasks and holding them accountable, you're helping them build that muscle.
They may not always like it at first, but over time, they'll start to see the payoff.
And when they start earning their own money, when they start seeing the results of their hard work, they'll begin to develop a sense of pride that will stick with them for the rest of their lives.
This isn't just about making a few extra dollars for a toy or a game. This is about teaching your kids that they have the power to shape their future. They can choose to work hard and earn money, or they can choose to sit back and wait for things to come to them. But let me tell you, when they make the choice to work hard, the sky's the limit. And you're the one who can give them that foundation, who can set them up for success by teaching them the importance of earning money. But it's not just about teaching them how to earn money. It's about teaching them to be responsible with it when they get it. When they start earning their own money, they need to know that they have control over what they do with it.
They don't have to spend it all at once.
They don't have to give in to every impulse or whim. They can make decisions about how to use their money in a responsible way. And this is where you, as a parent, come in. You can guide them. You can teach them how to manage their money, how to set goals, and how to make sure that every dollar they earn is being used wisely. Let me tell you a story. When my son first started working, he got his first paycheck and he was so excited to spend it all. I said, hold on, buddy. You've got some decisions to make here. And we sat down together and we worked through the process of saving, spending, and giving. He made his choices. And let me tell you, seeing him make those decisions for himself, knowing he was in control of his money, it was one of the most rewarding moments as a parent. He learned that earning money isn't just about getting paid. It's about the responsibility that comes with it. So here's what I want you to do. Start today. Give your kids opportunities to work hard and earn money. Start small, but build up to bigger responsibilities as they get older. Teach them that the work they do matters, that their efforts will lead to rewards. And most importantly, show them that they have the power to earn their own money and control their financial future. When you do this, you're not just teaching them how to make money. You're teaching them how to make their life count. And that, my friends, is one of the greatest gifts you can give your kids. Now that we've covered the basics, how to understand money save, spend wisely, and work hard to earn. Let's talk about one of the most crucial lessons of all, teaching your kids how to make smart financial decisions. This is where the rubber meets the road. You see, it's easy to think that once your kids know how to save money, earn it, and spend it responsibly, they'll just automatically know how to make great financial decisions on their own. But the truth is, they need you to help them navigate the complex world of money. They need you to guide them through the tough choices they'll face when it comes to things like budgeting, prioritizing expenses, and knowing when to say no to something they really want.
Now, making smart financial decisions isn't something that comes naturally for a lot of people. It's a skill. It's something you have to learn. And for your kids, it starts with giving them the opportunity to practice making choices. But I want you to remember something. Making smart decisions isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. It's about making decisions that are well thought out, not rushed, and not based on impulse. In a world where we're all surrounded by advertisements, social media, and peer pressure, it's so easy for kids and adults, for that matter, to make decisions based on emotions or the latest trends. But when it comes to money, emotions are the last thing you want to rely on.
I'm sure you've seen it before. The kid who spends their entire allowance or paycheck on the latest gadget or trend, only to realize a week later that it wasn't as important as they thought.
That's a painful lesson, but it's one that many of us have to learn.
The trick is we want our kids to learn these lessons while they're young so they don't make the same mistakes later in life.
And how do we do that?
Well, we teach them how to make decisions. We give them the tools to evaluate whether something is truly worth their hard-earned money.
I want you to think about a time when you had to make a tough financial decision. Maybe it was deciding whether to buy something you really wanted but didn't actually need. Or maybe it was weighing whether to save up for a vacation or take on debt to buy something immediately.
Whatever the decision was, I'm sure it wasn't easy. But what did you do? You thought about it.
You weighed the pros and cons. You asked yourself, is this worth it? What's the long-term impact? And that's what I want you to teach your kids to do. I want you to show them how to make decisions by helping them practice this kind of thinking. Let's say your child has saved up some money and they're considering buying something big. Instead of just saying no or yes, take the opportunity to sit down with them and walk them through the process.
Ask them questions like, do you really need this right now? What could you do with this money if you saved it for something else?
Is this purchase something that will bring you lasting joy, or will it only be exciting for a short time? These questions aren't meant to shame your kids. They're meant to open their eyes to the bigger picture. They need to learn that money is a tool, one that can work for them if they use it wisely, or one that can work against them if they don't make thoughtful choices. One of the key things I always talk about is the importance of setting financial goals. When kids have a goal in mind, they're more likely to think twice before making a purchase. For example, if your child has set a goal to buy a new bike or a special toy, encourage them to save for it. Ask them to track their progress and see how long it takes to reach their goal. This process teaches patience, delayed gratification, and the value of working towards something that truly matters. It also helps them practice budgeting, because when you're saving for something, you have to make choices about where your money is going. Maybe they can't go to the movies with friends this weekend, or maybe they have to cut back on snacks or treats. These are the types of decisions that help them learn to prioritize what's important. And here's the thing. Making good financial decisions is not always going to be easy. There will be times when your kids are tempted to buy something impulsively, when they feel the pull of wanting to fit in, or when they feel like they deserve something because they've worked hard for it. These are the moments where you can step in and be their guide. You can help them pause and think. Ask them to imagine how they'll feel once the initial excitement fades. Help them understand that making wise decisions doesn't mean depriving themselves. It means choosing what's best for their long-term happiness and success.
You also want to help your kids understand that financial decisions don't just impact them in the moment. They can have long-term effects. A single bad decision might not seem like a big deal at first, but over time, it adds up. I always talk about how debt is like a ball and chain. It can weigh you down and hold you back from living the life you want.
So when your kids are old enough to understand the concept of credit cards or loans, make sure you talk to them about the dangers of living on credit and the importance of staying debt free. Teach them that borrowing money to buy things you can't afford today means paying for it tomorrow with interest. That's not a decision anyone should take lightly.
Ultimately, teaching your kids to make smart financial decisions is about giving them the confidence to take control of their money. It's about helping them understand that money is a tool that can either work for them or against them, depending on the decisions they make.
By teaching them how to evaluate their choices, set goals, and prioritize what's truly important, you're setting them up for a lifetime of financial success. And trust me, when they start making good decisions on their own, you'll be amazed at how much pride and satisfaction they get from seeing their own money grow.
You'll know that you've done your job as a parent, not by giving them everything they wanted, but by giving them the wisdom to handle whatever money they earn in the future. And that's a gift that lasts a lifetime.
Now we've covered a lot of ground. We've talked about understanding money, saving, spending wisely, earning through hard work, and making smart financial decisions. But there's one more powerful lesson that I believe every child needs to learn. One that, if done right, will shape them not just into financially responsible adults, but into kind, generous, and grateful people. And that lesson is the power of giving. You might be thinking, Dave, my kids are still learning how to handle their own money. How can I teach them about giving? Shouldn't we focus on making sure they're financially responsible first? And I get it. We all want our kids to learn how to manage their money first and foremost, but I believe teaching them about the power of giving should come alongside that education. The truth is, the act of giving, of helping others, is a foundational part of financial wisdom. When you teach your kids to give, you're teaching them the true meaning of abundance. And here's the thing. When we teach our kids to be generous, they're learning that the world doesn't revolve around them and that the real joy in life comes from helping others.
From the moment our kids are born, they're bombarded with messages about what's in it for me, right? Commercials, social media, peer pressure, all these things constantly tell them that they deserve more. They should get what they want, and that the world owes them something.
But here's the truth. The world doesn't owe them anything. And if they're going to be successful, happy, and fulfilled, they need to learn that the greatest fulfillment comes not from what they can take, but from what they can give. This is a lesson that will carry them through life. It's something that will make them stand out in a world full of people focused on themselves.
Now, I'm not talking about just giving money. Well, that's important. I'm also talking about teaching your kids the importance of giving their time, their talents, and their kindness.
You see, generosity isn't just about how much you give away. It's about having a heart that is open to others, a heart that sees the needs of the world around them and wants to make a difference.
I want you to teach your kids that the act of giving doesn't just change the lives of others. It changes their own life, too.
One of the ways I encourage parents to introduce their kids to giving is through the 3-jar system we've talked about earlier. In this system, 10 goes to saving, 10 goes to spending, and 10 goes to spending, and 10 goes to giving. It's a simple system that allows your kids to see how easy it is to set aside money for others, whether that's through charitable donations, helping a neighbor, or buying something for a friend in need. It's not just about teaching them how to manage money. It's about showing them that when they give, they're creating a cycle of generosity that makes the world a better place.
But it's also important to show them why we give. Giving is not just about checking a box. It's about having a heart that wants to make an impact when you see a cause that's close to your heart, whether that's supporting a local food bank, donating to a children's hospital, or helping someone who's fallen on hard times. Talk to your kids about it. Let them see the joy in your heart when you give out.
And let them understand that generosity isn't just about making big donations. It's about small acts of kindness that add up over time.
I'll never forget the first time I took my kids to volunteer at a local food bank. They were just a little older than 10, and I wanted them to see firsthand what it looks like to help others who are struggling. We spent the day sorting cans, packing boxes, and organizing donations. But what really struck me was the way my kids reacted. They were so engaged, so moved by the people they met and the work they did.
And as we left that day, my son turned to me and said, "Dad, I think I'm going to save up some of my money and buy a bunch of food for the food bank." That moment right there was a turning point for me. My kids weren't just learning about the importance of giving. They were living it. They were beginning to understand that true wealth isn't measured by how much you have, but by how much you give.
And that's what I want for your kids, too. I want them to grow up knowing that money isn't just a tool for getting the things they want. It's a tool for changing lives, both their own and the lives of others. I want them to understand that when they give, they're investing in a future that's not just about material wealth, but about creating a world where people take care of one another.
And let me tell you, there's no greater feeling in the world than seeing your kids embrace that.
You can also teach them gratitude along the way. A big part of giving is being grateful for what you have. When kids learn to be thankful for the things they already own, they begin to realize that true happiness doesn't come from accumulating more stuff. It comes from appreciating what you have and sharing it with others. Gratitude is a powerful tool. It shifts our focus from "I want more" to "I have enough," and helps kids recognize how lucky they are to be able to help others.
And trust me, as your kids grow older, they'll carry this lesson with them. They'll become adults who not only manage their money wisely, but who use their wealth to create positive change in the world.
They'll be the ones who give generously, who serve others with their time, and who understand that real success is measured by how much they can give, not how much they can keep. So as you teach your kids about money, don't forget to teach them about the power of giving. Show them that the greatest joy in life doesn't come from what we take, but from what we give. Help them understand that a generous heart is the foundation of true financial freedom and fulfillment. And above all, remind them that they have the power to make the world a better place, one small act of kindness at a time. All right, parents, we've talked about understanding money, saving, spending wisely, earning through hard work, making smart financial decisions, and the power of giving. But now it's time to go even deeper. Let's talk about the importance of long-term thinking and financial independence. This, my friends, is one of the most crucial lessons you can pass on to your kids. It's not enough to teach them how to manage money in the here and now. If you want your kids to have the freedom to live life on their own terms, you need to teach them how to think about money in the long term. You need to teach them how to think about money in the long term. You need to teach them the mindset that will allow them to achieve true financial independence, a life where they're in control of their choices, their future, and their peace of mind. I can tell you from personal experience, when you learn how to think long term with your money, everything changes. You stop living paycheck to paycheck. You stop worrying about whether you can afford the next bill or the next big purchase. You start making decisions that set you up for a future of stability, security, and even wealth. And let me tell you, there is nothing more freeing than that. Nothing. But here's the key. It doesn't happen overnight.
This kind of thinking takes practice. It takes discipline and it takes planning. But when you teach your kids the value of long-term thinking, they're setting themselves up to build a life of true financial independence.
You know, when I was younger, I didn't have a clue about long-term thinking. I was focused on today, on the quick fix, the immediate gratification. I made mistakes. I made plenty of them. But over time, I learned that real success doesn't come from living in the moment. It comes from thinking about where you want to be 5, 10, or 20 years down the road. It comes from making decisions today that will pay off in the future. And that's the kind of mindset I want you to help your kids develop. So how do you do that? It starts with teaching them the importance of planning. Planning isn't just something for adults. It's a skill that kids can learn early on, and it will serve them for the rest of their lives. Talk to your kids about their goals, not just their short-term goals, but their long-term dreams. Ask them questions like, what do you want your life to look like when you're an adult? What kind of work do you want to do? What kind of work do you want to do?
What kind of things do you want to live? What kind of things do you want to have? When they can visualize their future and see it as something they have the power to shape, they start to understand that their financial decisions today are going to impact that future.
You see, when kids start thinking about the future, they start making smarter choices in the present. Instead of spending all their money on a new toy or the latest video game, they'll begin to ask themselves, is this worth it? Is this what's going to help me achieve my dreams in the future?
And that's the key. Long-term thinking helps them prioritize their spending. It helps them focus on what's important and avoid falling into the trap of spending money on things that won't matter in a few months or years.
Now, another powerful aspect of teaching long-term thinking is introducing your kids to the concept of financial independence. This is a game changer.
Financial independence is the idea that you don't need to rely on anyone else, whether that's a paycheck, credit cards, or loans, to live the life you want. You are free. You are in control of your financial future. And I want your kids to understand that the sooner they start planning for financial independence, the sooner they can achieve it.
But here's the reality. It takes time, it takes saving, it takes discipline, and yes, it takes investing.
But when you teach your kids about these concepts, you're giving them a roadmap to a future of freedom.
They'll start to understand that the money they make today isn't just for spending right now. It's for building their future, for investing in things that will pay off down the road, whether that's through saving for retirement, putting money into an emergency fund, or investing in their education. Teaching your kids to focus on long-term goals instead of instant gratification will set them up for success in ways they can't even imagine yet. I've had the privilege of working with people from all walks of life. And one thing I've noticed is that the people who truly succeed financially are the ones who make smart decisions today with an eye on the future.
They don't make decisions based on what feels good right now. They make decisions based on where they want to be in the future. And the earlier you can teach your kids this lesson, the better.
One of the ways to introduce your kids to long-term thinking is by teaching them about investing.
No, don't get overwhelmed here. You don't need to be a financial expert to do this.
You just need to start small and introduce them to the basics. For example, you can explain how the stock market works or show them how saving a little bit of money every month can grow over time with compound interest. These are powerful lessons that will serve them throughout their lives. And let me tell you, when your kids start to understand that money can grow for them, they'll begin to see the true power of long-term thinking.
But it's not just about teaching your kids how to save and invest. It's about teaching them how to create a life plan. Ask your kids to think about where they want to be in 5, 10, 20 years.
Do they want to own a home? Do they want to travel the world? Do they want to start their own business? Help them create a plan for how to get there? This plan isn't set in stone. It will change. It will evolve. But the important thing is that they start thinking about their future and taking control of their financial destiny. And as your kids grow older and start to make their own financial decisions, they'll have this mindset to guide them. They won't be swayed by the pressures of the moment. They'll be focused on what's truly important
on building a life that aligns with their longs, with their longs, with their longs, with their longs, with their long.
And that, my friends, is the true meaning of financial independence.
So here's my challenge to you. Start teaching your kids to think long term. Teach them that every financial decision they make today has an impact on their future. Show them how to plan, save, and invest for the life they want. Teach them that financial independence is possible, but it's a journey that takes time, patience, and discipline. And most of all, help them understand that when they think long term, they're not just securing their financial future. They're creating a life of freedom, control, and endless possibility.
Well, folks, we've come to the end of this journey, but really, it's just the beginning.
We've talked about a lot of things, haven't we? From understanding the value of money to saving, spending wisely, earning money, making smart financial decisions, giving with a generous heart, and thinking long-term about financial independence. We've covered a lot of ground, and each of these lessons is a building block. But what I want you to know right now is this. The greatest gift you can give your kids isn't the latest gadget, the newest clothes, or a shiny new car when they turn 16.
The greatest gift you can give them is the gift of financial wisdom, the kind of wisdom that will set them up for a lifetime of success, happiness, and freedom. The kind of wisdom that will allow them to navigate the ups and downs of life without fear, but with confidence, because they know how to handle money and how to make it work for them. You see, money isn't just about buying things. Money isn't just about paying bills or getting by from paycheck to paycheck. Money is a tool that, when used wisely, can help your kids live the life they've always dreamed of. It can help them make a difference in the world. It can give them the freedom to follow their passions, to be generous with their time and resources, and to build a life that's not dictated by debt, stress, or the pressure to keep up with others. It can be the key to their future success and happiness. And as a parent, you have the power to teach them how to use that tool, how to make smart decisions, how to manage it wisely, and how to ultimately achieve the financial freedom that will allow them to live life on their own terms. But here's the truth, parents. It's not always going to be easy. There will be bumps in the road. There will be times when you want to give up or when it feels like your kids aren't getting it.
But don't stop.
Keep going. Keep having those conversations. Keep showing them what it means to be wise with money. Keep modeling the right behaviors even when it's hard. Because the truth is, the lessons you're teaching them today are shaping their future. And these lessons, these foundational principles of financial wisdom, will stick with them for the rest of their lives. And let me tell you something. When they start making those smart choices on their own, when they start seeing the results of their hard work, their savings, their wise spending, and their generosity, it will all click for them. They'll realize that they're not just handling money. They're building a future. They're creating a life that's full of possibilities. And when that happens, I promise you, as a parent, there is no greater feeling than seeing your kids take control of their financial future, make smart decisions, and live with purpose and confidence.
Now, I know that financial wisdom doesn't come all at once. It's a process. It's not a lesson that's learned overnight, but it's a process that will pay off in ways that go beyond money. Teaching your kids about money isn't just about making them financially successful. It's about teaching them how to be responsible, how to plan for their future, how to be generous and kind, how to work hard, and how to make good choices.
These are the qualities that will set them up for success in every area of life, not just financially. They'll be better equipped to handle life's challenges. They'll be more confident in their decisions. They'll be more confident in their decision,
and they'll be able to face the world with a mindset that says, I'm in control. I've got this.
But most importantly, when you teach your kids these principles, you're giving them something that can never be taken away. You're giving them the freedom to make their own choices, the ability to live without fear of debt, and the power to make a difference in the world around them. That's the kind of future I want for my kids. And I know it's the kind of future you want for yours too.
So as you walk away from this, I want you to remember one thing. The most important thing you can do for your kids is not to give them everything they want, but to give them the tools, the wisdom, and the mindset to create the life they want.
Teach them to make smart decisions. Teach them to value hard work. Teach them to be generous, and teach them to think long term about their future. And as you do, you'll be setting them up for a life of financial freedom, stability, and success. One that they can look back on with pride, and one that will allow them to live a life of purpose, joy, and impact.
This is the legacy you can leave for your kids. And when they take these lessons and live them out, you'll know that you've done your job. You'll know that you've done your job. You'll know that you've helped them create a future that's bright, full of possibility, and above all, free. So I want to leave you with this. Start today. Teach your kids these principles. Show them the way. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it.
And one day, when they're standing on their own 2 feet, when they're making smart decisions, when they're living the life they've dreamed of, you'll look at them and know that you've given them the best gift you possibly could, a gift that will last a lifetime.
And that, my friends, is something money can't buy. All right, I've shared a lot of tips and strategies with you today, but I know that even with the best advice, things can still feel overwhelming at times.
Whether you're trying to teach your kids about money, struggling to manage your own finances, or just feeling stuck,
Whatever it is, we're here to help. I want you to do something right now. Drop a comment below and let us know what financial challenges or struggles you're facing.
maybe it's getting out of debt, saving for your future, or building better financial habits with your kids. Whatever it is, I want to hear from you. Your story could help others who are in the same boat, and together we can find the solutions that work. We'll take those comments and we're going to create videos to address your specific problems. We're all in this together, and I'm committed to helping you take control of your finances and build the life you deserve. So don't be shy. Share your challenges and let's tackle them as a community. And hey, while you're here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This channel is all about empowering you with the tools, the knowledge, and the mindset to make smart financial decisions no matter where you're starting from. You won't want to miss the next video because we're going to keep breaking down the big money questions and helping you achieve your goals, one step at a time. So subscribe, share your struggles, and let's make it happen together. I'll see you in the next video.